everybody and welcome back to the HTAB YouTube channel. Today you find me back here in the model railway room. As you can see by the photos, the trains, the lights, it's quite a familiar background and it's one we've not seen for a while. I've been out and about filming trains, so I thought, well, the weather's bad out, I might as well stay in and film a review. And what's coming up today is what you're about to see now. That is, in fact, this. An nondescript Heljan locomotive. Yes, Heljan you may associate being a bad brand, and reviews on the internet from other YouTube people, I wouldn't say YouTubers because they're just people that make videos. YouTubers, anyway, I'm not classing myself as a YouTuber, I'm just a person that makes YouTube videos. Anyway, off topic. So, reviews online have suggested that a certain number of Heljan locomotives, steam locomotives and old locomotives, even in my experience, like the Heljan Class 35 and the Heljan Class 47, quite literally Heljan, have proved to be terrible. But what's inside this box? I've already had it out. I've ran it already because I got it for Christmas. Will maybe change my opinion on that? Possibly. But you'll have to wait and see. But I've not actually told you what the model is. This is in fact a Heljan Class 07, number 07013, in BR blue livery. Can't see due to the box being just completely covered. Anything could be in here. It could be like a gold bar, it could be the Holy Grail. But whatever's inside will sure to impress. So, we'll go down there, unbox it, and I'll show you the wonders what are inside this box. So then, you find me on the ground with the blue Heljan box, the very nondescript blue Heljan box. And on the end of that very nondescript blue Heljan box, it says Hell, might not be what's inside, 2919, that's the product code, and it's a Class 07, number 07013, V2, BR blue with a white cap. There's the barcode, you don't need any of that debacle. On the back of the box, there's no information. On this side of the box, there's some words of wisdom in all languages, made in China by Heljan. That's always a good sign. And it's not suitable for children under the age of 14 years old. Well, I'm over that, so I'm allowed this product. So then, let's satisfyingly remove the lid of the box. I always like doing this if it actually comes off. And as you see inside, whenever the top decides it wants to come off, there we go. It's very well packaged. It's like past the parcel. You can't actually see what the locomotive is until you reveal it from this piece of foam. And you still can't see it because there's a booklet in the way. So, just move that out of the way for a second as we have a look at what this is. A very nice artwork on the front of that, as you can see, the model there. That's what's inside the box, hopefully. And it's BR-Rushden and Horn Street Class 07. What's inside here then is some body removal, instructions, DCC operation, and there's a brief history there, so I'll just leave you with a clip of that, but after this I'll give a history of the Class 07 anyway. There's a exploded diagram, that's nice with all the components. Look at all those parts, wow, that's good. Loads of parts, lots of separately fitted parts by the looks of it, and they're all there, numbered. 137 different parts, wow. What's on the next page? Fitting the discs, which I think are in a separate bag somewhere. Got some technical information for the, is that the real one or is that the, no, that's the model, so DCC interface, stuff like that, just nonsense that you don't really need unless you're a beginner, but I don't think this is a beginner model, but if you had this as a beginner then I'd be very happy. And yeah, basically, just yeah, so a nicely informative and detailed book there on the Class 07, but for now we'll just sort of lump that to the side. I'll show you the real deal. Here it is, and as I said a minute ago, it is like past the parcel because we're like revealing the layers, so just pass it to my friend over here who's sat on the right. No, I'm joking. And we'll take it out of the foam, and as I said a minute ago, it's very nicely packaged. That's always good to see, because for such a detailed locomotive, you need that, because on the leaflet it showed a lot of detail, meaning there's quite a lot of fragile parts. So that's that layer removed. There was just some foam and some cardboard in there, we don't need that. Let's take the ice block packaging out. I'll let you actually see this in fact, because that's my, well, that's the point of this video, so you can see what it is. You don't want to see my arm, do you? Move that out of the way. That was a funny noise. noise, hopefully that's out of shot. And we have got a detail bag here. Wow, there's a lot of detail in there. In fact, there's those little disc things, as it said in the book. There's blanking plates for the coupling if you don't want the NEM tension locks in, and I did actually have a problem when fitting those. Those took ages. It was just a faff, but I'll go into more detail about that later when I show you up close and personal. There's pipes, there's rods, there's pieces of plastic, there's yellow things, there's some sort of things that say 1846. I have no idea what they are, but hopefully you can see with the close-up shots that I'm putting in now. For now though, I don't need those. The sort of next layer to this is the snake anaconda thing, so we'll just prepare for horrible noise. Oh yeah, that was nasty. As we remove it, we've got some bits of foam there to protect it from the scratching of the plastic, so we'll do that. How are we going to do this then? We'll just do that because I don't really know where to grab it. I'll just sort of do it here where the least amount of detail is. And already, if I just move this out of the way, I'm just being careful with this because it's very delicate. You can see it, the wonderful Heljan Class 07 shunter. And from this angle, I don't know how well you're seeing it there, but from my point of view at least, it looks very smart. So much detail, so many pipes, so many separately fitted pieces, faffs of couplings, which like I said I'll go on about a bit later on. And it's cute. It's a cute little locomotive. So, I'll run you through a bit of detail now. Not detail, I'll run you through a bit of, detail on the real thing and share with you what it actually is, because like, it's not really much use me just staring at it here, is there? So, I'll do that, and then I'll get it down to the ground so you can appreciate the detail even more. Right, let's go. The British Rail Class 07 diesel locomotive is an off-centre cab 060 diesel electric shunter type built by Ruston and Hornsby in 1962 for the southern region of British Railways. 14 members of the class were primarily used at Southampton Docks and later also at Eastleigh Works. The Class 07 was originally designed to replace steam power on the Southampton Docks network, which at its peak consisted of some 80 miles off track, and immediately prior to the introduction of diesel power was operated by 6 ex-London Brighton and South Coast Railway 060 Class E2 locomotives and 14 ex-Southern Railway USA Class 060 tank locomotives. However, the locomotives were short-lived on the British Railway network, and this led to the class being withdrawn by the end of 1977. Several were bought for industrial use and have subsequently passed into preservation. So then, you now find us down here, up close and personal, with the wonderful Heljan Class 07 shunter. And I've got one word to describe this. I was looking at it off camera, just admiring it basically, because it is a beautiful little thing, really. And that word is simply wow. It's just perfect. It's like, well, I often say this with like good models, but it is just like an 07's been dropped here and scaled down, and it's just here. It's perfect. It's just well depicted. It's well representative of the real thing. So then, another thing you can see from this angle is, well, the amazing amount of detail. From pipes to handles to tanks to horns to everything, really. It's just well done. And also, I've been looking at this. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's no glue anywhere. There's no bits of broken pipes. That's good. It's fine scale. It's perfect. It doesn't look chunky. It doesn't look bad. There's no glue all over it. There's no oil all over it. It's fine. And I love that. Heljan, well done. But we'll make our way around the model now and we'll just admire it even closer, shall we? So then, starting off at the front of the model, and often on fronts of models is where the most detail is, but with this, well, on every face, every surface of it, every angle of it, you look at it, there's an equal amount of detail spread around the shunter. And that's fantastic. That's what you want to see. You want to see detail. You don't want to look at bits of it and there's just nothing there. With this, you look at it and you think, wow, could there be too much detail? But that's not really physically possible, is it? You can't really make it too much detail as long as it's representative of the real thing. But here at the front, there's a damn sight lot. So, we've got these pipes here. We've got the air and stuff like that. I'm not like a knowledge master on these, but I presume it's something to do with air. And then also around here, we've got nicely picked out handrails. We've got these ones here on either side of the loco. We've got the ones at the top here. We've got some nicely picked out pipes on the buffer beams. Speaking of the boffin, there's plenty of detail there. We've got the little chain link couplings, the ones that dangle down, they go through the tension lock couplings. And speaking about the tension lock couplings, that's a slight downside to this model. They were so fiddly. So, in order for this model to go around the corner, obviously the couplings need to pivot, and they do, as you can see from side to side like that. They're perfect in that manner. But putting them in, my god, it was difficult. So, the pin that they go into, like inside the actual model, also goes from side to side, like that. And as you were placing the Heljan coupling into it, the pin inside was just moving around. And obviously it's like embedded within all of this, and you can't really remove this buffer beam because that will risk damaging the model for a start. And also it just means taking it to pieces, which you don't really want to have to do from the factory. So I think both of the couplings off of the model aren't the actual Heljan ones, because like the Heljan couplings they provided were like not like flexible at all, they just didn't move. So we had to take them off of another model with more flexible NEMA tension lock couplings. Afterwards though, they did get in, and I've not had any problems with them since. They sit at a nice height, but we'll test that later. So they do couple to wagons perfectly, and they do pivot as intended. Also on the buffer main here, we've got nicely sprung buffers. They're nice, look nice and shiny. Look how nice and clean they look. They're so perfect. Oh, that one doesn't work. Wait a second. This buffer doesn't work. Oh dear. It's stuck inwards. Oh, that one is as well. Oops, that's a slight issue. Wait a second, let me just pull them out. There we go. Those two are stuck, but I think the ones at the other end work. But if you're just pushing them lightly, that one at least at the back, that's okay, that's fine. They do work, but they're a little bit sticky, but to be honest, I can't really complain. And also, another great thing about this model is the amazing paintwork. Look how great these wasp stripes look. There's no bleeding with them between the black and the yellow, and they just look perfect. They're also all around the grill and stuff. And speaking of the grill, that's been nicely modelled. That's just a nice tampo print on there, with the little Ruston logo at the top as well, near that white handrail. Above that, we've also got this little lamp thing, and this does have working lights, directional working lights. We'll try and get a shot of that later. Also at the front here, we've got some more little handrails. We've got this one here next to the step, which is nicely modelled in there. There isn't actually any steps to go up, but I don't know, that might just not be the thing with the real thing. That's like a foot stand there where you can put your foot in, so that's probably true of the real thing. And running along the top bonnet here, we've got another one of those white handrails all along there. It just brings it to life. Like I said, like I've said it already, it's like a little 07 has just appeared in my room. Which is great, that's what you want to see, isn't it? Also on the side here, we've got these little textured bits. Listen, listen, listen. Amazing, look how perfect that is. And on each one of those, they've got handrails as well. There's also slight bits of detail, like moulded detail all over it with little rivets and stuff and grooves to show that they're actually different panels, it's not just one big thing, and that's nicely finely done. At the bottom of this, we've got the coupling rod area, we've got this tank along here, that's just on... Is that on both sides, or is that just on one side? I think that's just on one side of the model. And also something else that's on one side of the model is this little piston area here. That's different on this side, it's like a little gauge thing there. That's nicely done, I love that. Moving further along the model then, you get to appreciate more of that fine scale detail, from the little handrail on top of this box here to the little handle on that box in fact. And on each window there's a little wiper here as well. The glazing's done nicely, it's nice and flush with the outside of the body, that's great to see, there's no gaping holes in it. And you can see there on the cab window here where it is meant to go down. That's nicely done with a little bit of paint there at the top. That's great. And speaking of paint, around this area, the little prints and paintwork for the number, the running number, the little board thing underneath it, and the British Rail sign is done very well. And also on the cab, there's a door as well on either side with handrails picked out in white. I think I pointed that one out there, but that's nice and fine indeed. And on the door, there's a little handle that's picked out in silver. On the roof then, we've got two little horns there, one facing that way, one facing the other way. They're both nicely straightly applied and separately fitted, and also they're picked out in white, just like the cab roof. Underneath the cab, we've got a step leading up to the door, that's nicely printed in black. We'll just cover the detail here with the wheels, they're nicely done. The middles of the axles are picked out in black, so you can't see the axle running through the wheel, that's nice. And also underneath, I spoke about the gauge thing here, but to the right of that we've got a nice thin and fine connecting rod on all the wheels. And I don't know how well this shot will work, but inside the cab you can see a small bit of detail in there. Each gauge on the cab is picked out in paintwork, and there's some little moulded piece of detail inside the cab. I always love that. It just, like I said, brings the model to life. And to the rear of the cab there's yet more fantastic moulded and separately fitted detail all around this area. More handrails, more window wipers on the windows here. We've got a tiny little window here, that's very fine indeed. We've got bits of handles here, we've got rivets, we've got lights again on this end. Again, the buffer beam at this end looks fantastic with those chain link couplings and the pipes and stuff all over it with just separate detail, like spreading its way fantastically across this model. And representative of the real Class, both sides of the model are different. On this side we've got a large box here with more of those grills. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's very nice indeed. There's also different pipes at this side. We haven't got that gauge thing there, that's just a standard connecting rod. Oh yeah, there is a tank at this side, I thought there wasn't, but there is. And there's pipes as well, all over this side, which is just fantastic. It's just great when like manufacturers put effort into making the model look like the real thing. And that's just what Heljan have done here. Fantastic. Showing you the roof then, I don't want to put this model on its side because of, well, detail and it being fragile, but you can see there's a nice little chimney there with more rivets and little disc things. They look like hockey pucks, but I highly doubt that's what they are. I have no idea. Let me know in the comments if you know. And there's also different bits of moulded details, panels and stuff, and that wasp striping up towards the front continues there as well. So then, as stated previously, this model is simply wow. And yeah, I'm finding it really hard to film all the individual nooks and crannies to it because there's that many. This video will be like half an hour long, just covering all the little bits and bobs to it. So I've hopefully given you a rough idea of what it's like from all the separately fitted pipes, handles, horns, everything like that. And I can't even turn it on its, base and side because, well, I don't want to damage it basically. It's got that much detail, I can't do my job. Heljan, you've outdone me. No, I'm joking. From previous experience of Heljan locomotives, like the 35, its wheels completely burnt out when the track got dirty, the wheels just sort of melted on it. And the 47 just decided to not run, it just stopped running. Nothing I've done to it, it just decided one day that it didn't want to run. And here we have it, a 47 that doesn't work. But with this model, it's the polar opposite of that, it's just fantastic. So, we're going to take it onto the railway now, and like I said, I already have had this running so I know what it's like, but I'll not spoil it for you. I'll show you how it runs, I'll show you how it crawls, I'll do some performance testing, I'll go over points and stuff and show you how well and nimble and agile it can be. And then we'll couple it up to a train, something mildly accurate for what it would do at Southampton docks during its working life in this livery. And then I'll just give you my final thoughts and show you how much of a brilliant model and what I think of it as a whole, really. Hopefully that gave you a rough idea of what it was. And it's too hard to film, it's really difficult to film. I've never had this with a model. A model has blown me away, quite literally, like the weather outside. Blooming awful. So then, you now find me here on the railway with the wonderful Class 07 by Heljan. And as you heard at the end of that, I was just excited. I'm just excited to show you this model. I've been waiting to review it, and the time has finally come to show you guys a wonderful model. The link to which is in the description box below. I've been watching other reviews on this model and people have said, oh, it's rubbish, it's got oil all over it. That's only on your version, clearly. This one, well, no oil, no glue, no paint splatters, and other people have also said that details missing and it's broken, but mine, well, no issues have faced me like that, I'm afraid. So, this model has in fact ran in already, so I don't need to show you that because, like, well, I might as well run it in before the review, then the review isn't as long and I can just get it running with a train, so you don't have to wait about and I don't have to wait about. Now, anyway, as I said, I'm excited to show you it running, so we might as well do so. Right, I don't know which way the controller's set, I'll just set it that way and hope it moves. Right, we're playing power in 3, 2, 1. It's going backwards, but it's moving. And you can see those lights there as well. I don't know if you can see them. I'll get a closer shot in a minute, but there it is. Look how wonderful it is. It's just so cute and dainty. It's so fragile, it's so cute, it's so dainty, and it's just perfect. And as you can see, its running style is perfect too. It's so smooth. In fact, I'll just shut up. Wait a second. So smooth, it's just quiet. And I love that. So we see how good of a crawl it can do, and I feel like it can do a great crawl because I've already tested this, but I'm just showing you for the purpose of the review. Right, applying the power. How slow can we go? Yeah, that's magnificent. Look at it. It's creeping forwards, but it is moving, and it's not cutting out either. And I'm not seeing my tracks fully clean, even though I have just given it a little once over with the Pecco track rubber. But at that speed, yeah, magnificent. Let's try the other way. And I predict it'll be as equally good. A little bit more cogging that way, but it's not noticeable. It is still creeping backwards at a snail's pace. And I love how small the wheelbase is. Look how small that is. It's just so like I said, cute and dainty. It's fantastic. There is one issue I face with it though, that occasionally it does stutter on points, but to be honest, it doesn't happen that often. It's just well, it's perfect for this railway really. I might just have a fleet of these, just get rid of the 25s, get rid of the standard 5, get rid of the Janus, even get rid of the Heljan Class 35, we can scrap that, just get that out of the way. But for now though, we're going to test it over some points and show you that it doesn't derail because, well, why would it really? It's perfect, its wheelbase is too small to derail. So, let's send it right out of the shot and let's go over the points. Here it is then, coming into shot right now, and it has actually stopped. Oopsie doopsie, it's letting me down. Come on. That was just on the plastic point frog there with that small wheelbase, just proving me wrong, even though I said it doesn't stop, but it clearly does. Right, let's test it over the points then, in reverse first. Yep, that's fine that way. Let's try it this way then. Yeah, and these are quite sharp points as well, they're not like express points, but for a small wheelbase, a little bit of a clonk, but that's to be expected, every loco does that there. But it doesn't clonk off the tracks like some other locomotives. Heljan Class 35. Just wonderful. Let's see how quick we can go over the points then. I don't really want to derail it in case any detail comes off of it, because it is that detailed, it might just drop off. Yeah, that was full speed, and it didn't face any issues. And also, speaking of full speed, that is full speed. It's geared very slowly. Like, for a shunter, that's good. I like it. Doesn't have a flywheel though. It does just stop. That's something else I should have pointed out a minute ago, but I didn't. So if I do just go full and then stop, it does just... Does it have a flywheel? Actually, it might have a flywheel. I could have a look at the instructions. If it does have a flywheel, then I'll leave it in the description box below. I'll leave a little thing saying, disclaimer, it does have a flywheel. My information and myself was proven wrong by this wonderful model. Anyway, something to that extent. For now though, we're going to head this way and couple up to a train to show you it running. So then, in the bay platform here, we've got two parcels wagons, Southern Region parcels wagons, parked up, and the 07 is just appearing in frame now. So, obviously this has got NEM tension lock couplings, and the thing on the left has got like old triangle style couplings, so I'm not expecting it to couple first try, but if it does, that would be great. And also it's on a corner, that might not help, but oops, as it slams into them and the one at the back derails, it has in fact coupled, as you can see. Look at that, it's on. Very nice. Right, we'll get this running around the railway, I'll take some shots and I'll let you admire the nature and beauty of the Heljan Class 07. Let's go. And also these like parcel things, they were fully homemade. They used to be Rex. One of them cost 10p, the other one cost 50p. How wonderful. So then, that's the beautiful Heljan Class 07, number 07013 in BR blue with white cab and wasp stripes, all ran and showed for you guys on my channel and on my railway. It performed wonderfully. No derailments, no stopping, no stutters, no stammers, no anything bad happened, apart from that one time it stopped over there, but that was just because of the either dirty track or the large plastic point frog. So, that also means we're at the end of the video now, and as it's parked here beautifully in the bay platform at, not Wick Station, but sort of, what should we call it? Thick Station, because it's like Thurstone Wick. Anyway, something like that. It's the end of the video, so I hope you've enjoyed. I certainly have. I can't wait to show this model to you guys, and I've been wanting to do so for ages. So, if you want to, like, subscribe, comment. Don't care if you do, you can, you don't have to, but whatever. And I'll see you on the next one. But for now though, I'll leave you with this.